we are going to see about different times with respect to a process. So first, arrival time. It is the time at which process arrives in the ready queue. So we saw about ready queue, right, previously. So in that ready queue, the time at which the process arrives, that is known as arrival time. Next, completion time. The time at which the process completes execution, it is known as completion time. It may stop in middle and resume at some other time, but we should consider the final time at which it completes execution. Next, burst time. The time required by a process for CPU execution, the duration in which the process is being executed, that is known as burst time. So burst time is also known as service time, whereas arrival time is also known as admission time or submission time. Turnaround time. The amount of time taken to complete a process or fulfill a request, it is known as turnaround time. It is the difference between completion time and arrival time. Next, waiting time. The time process spent in the ready queue and for IO completion. It is known as waiting time. It is found by calculating the difference between turnaround time and burst time. Next, response time. It is the time difference between arrival time and the first time the process gets the CPU. Let us consider this example. Suppose process P1 arrives in the ready queue at time 2. Then at the very same time it gets the resources assigned to it. CPU resources assigned to it. So then the response time is 0 because it got into ready queue at time 2. At the very same time it got the CPU resources also. Let us consider different scenario. It got into the ready queue at time 2. It got the CPU resources at time 4. Now the response time will be 4 minus 2, 2. I hope you understood the point. Next, suppose let us consider this example now. This is a Gantt chart. It has two processes P0 and P1. From 0 to 2, the CPU is idle. 2 to 4, P0 is being executed. 4 to 6, P1 is being executed. And P1 has completed execution at time 6. From 6 to 7, again P0 resumed and P0 completed at 7. Now we will see all the times for the process P0. With this, you will get a clear picture of different times. Arrival time. As you can see in the Gantt chart, the process P0 arrived in the ready queue at time 2. So arrival time is 2. Completion time. The process P0 finally completed at time 7. You may confuse with 4. No, it is intermediate time. After at 4, the CPU resources got assigned to P1. The P0 stopped for some time. It finally completed at time 7. So 7 is the completion time. Burst time. Burst time is the time during which P0 is being executed. It is being executed from time 2 to 4. 4 minus 2, 2 plus 7 minus 6, 1. 2 plus 1, 3. That is the burst time. Turnaround time. Turnaround time is completion time minus arrival time. Completion time is 7. Arrival time is 2. 7 minus 2, 5. Waiting time. Waiting time is turnaround time minus burst time. Turnaround time is 5. Burst time is 3. So waiting time is 5 minus 3, 2. So waiting time you can understand this way also. 2 to 4, P0 executed. 4 to 6, it has been waiting. And P1 has been executing. And again at 6, it started executing again. So 4 to 6, it has been waiting. 6 minus 4, 2. That is the wait time. Response time. It got into ready queue at time 2. It got CPU resources at the very same time 2. So response time is 0. So these are all the times with respect to process P0. I hope you got a clear picture of all the different times related to a process. Thank you.